Back to that breaking news we've been talking about all night. As you can see there, federal agents blocking protesters from a parking lot. And Mike, is this the same parking lot where you said that ICE agents were actually gathering?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, Pat, and right there, thanks, Oliver's pushing in on it. We already had one protester get pulled out by federal agents and taken into custody. So this person was in the line that the federal agents were trying to push everybody back from. He, there was a bit of a struggle. They grabbed him out of the line, threw him down, and now he is in handcuffs. So that's at least one person that's been detained. Ollie, let's go back and look at the rest of the crowd. So this is a parking lot where we believe that federal agents were staging. We don't have any reason to believe right now that they were about to conduct another operation. From our perspective, it looked like this is where they were staging some of their heavier vehicles to be able to do security around the federal Roybal building as well as the Metropolitan Detention Center. Citizens noticed that they were here. They don't like that they're here. And so then this protest gathered. So you've got a skirmish line of federal agents that are in the parking lot there. And then we just minutes ago, and Ollie, if you can pan to the right, I want to show them the Bearcats that moved in. The armored vehicles came in from down the street, the ones that were actually back over doing security for the Metropolitan Detention Center and the federal building. These agents moved in, then they created a skirmish line pushing people down the street. And we'll show you back again where that crowd is, and that's kind of where they're at right now. So now you've got the feds turning people around, trying to deal with this crowd. LAPD, nowhere to be found. LAPD did a quick drive-by and said, have at it, feds. Good luck. You got the LAPD helicopter overhead. That is the only assistance that's being lent right now. But as of this moment, this is an entirely federal operation. And you have this crowd that has grown in size now into the street. And now you've got federal agents trying to push them out of the way. And you've also had people taken into, at least one person already taken into custody by the feds.
So, and they can do whatever they want,
yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
You know, LAPD said they would be there if they needed their help in terms of traffic and to ensure safety. I am surmising, Mike, that the fact right now that it's not like it was earlier when we saw, smoke bombs being thrown or objects being thrown at authorities, that could be one reason why LAPD is just letting the feds handle this?
Well, and the other thing that I've noticed, Pat, is that it seems like the feds have prepared themselves. So, and you're looking at live pictures from the ground on the right side of your screen. So earlier in the day, I don't think that they were necessarily ready for the crowd that came. So that's when they needed LAPD. This is the first time tonight where we are seeing federal agents in this kind of fatigues here, as well as in armored vehicles. I've started to see the HSI armored vehicles late tonight. They were not around in the downtown area when that whole thing was going on. So it seems like the federal agents have become more prepared to deal with the crowd, which is, and there's the person that's in custody. So federal agents are more prepared to deal with the crowd now. That might be why they're doing it instead of asking for LAPD. But you look at these guys are much more heavily armed than LAPD was. LAPD was in their, they had some tactical gear, but basically helmets and less than lethal rounds. These guys are not that at all.
It's all lethal.
It's all lethal. They are carrying, their rifles they've got with them. And as you can see, they're still trying to push people out into the street. Or out of the street, rather, let some of these cars that are parked get out of there. So it has turned into another situation that we were hoping to avoid tonight. And really, at this point, it's simply because the federal agents were staging in that parking lot, and people don't like that.
And they noticed them, and, they're probably heckling or yelling at them,
right?
Really to no avail. And you just wonder, I see some cars being able to pass. You just wonder how long they are going to let this continue until before they, even push the line back further. That would be more of them forming a skirmish line and actually pushing people back.
Right. Yeah. So far, it looks like they've kind of just pushed the crowd a little bit using the Bearcats.
Yeah.
And we saw, obviously, like I said, that one person being detained. But it's hard to tell, because now they're more scattered. They're not necessarily kind of in that skirmish line like they were a minute ago.
Okay. Well, you know what? We have Zach Boetto on the ground, so we're going to go to him now to find out the latest. Hi, Zach. What are you saying? You're in the middle of it.
Hey, Pat. We are on, North Hill Street and Alpine here, right next to the east-west bank here in Chinatown. The FBI, within the last few minutes here, and ICE and Homeland Security have just decided to push these protesters back away from this parking lot entrance here that you can see. Anna, our photographer, is aiming at right now. So you can see it seems like this is where a lot of these FBI vehicles are staging, where this armored vehicle is behind this car here. But you can see all the FBI officers right here, and here comes one of those armored vehicles now. Just about.
Just get out of the street, just so
Yeah,
can get through.
yeah, we can move. We're being asked to move right now by the FBI, so let me just get up on a curb here. But like I was saying, you see this armored vehicle coming down this curb here. About 15 minutes ago, there were other unmarked vehicles trying to get into that parking lot, and a lot of these protesters were basically trying to block those unmarked vehicles from getting into that parking lot. A lot of them shining flashlights in FBI officers' eyes, like strobe lights. They're shining. You can see a lot of the protesters now are up here on the curb. They've been pushed this way off of the street. A lot of them have their phones, are observing what's going on. Even here at as we approach 11:30 here in the evening. This all started early this morning when those ICE raids took place at the Home Depot near MacArthur Park, as well as the no profanity, sir. Is that okay?
I will. Not
Okay.
profanity.
Okay. So who are you?
Doesn't matter who I am.
Okay.
I am a LA citizen, and these guys, I don't know where they think they are. They're not in Ukraine. They are not in Russia. Look at them. I don't know what they're thinking. We're paying for our taxes, their gear, and
Okay.
their stuff.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Thank you.
No. I mean, do it.
Right. Okay, so as you can see clearly, Pat, people very passionate about what happening is here in downtown Los Angeles, in the Chinatown area. They don't like that these FBI officers, that these agents are here. But as you can see, North Hill Street clearly blocked off by FBI. There are 3 or 4 helicopters in the air right now. It's going to be a late Friday night here, but again, about an hour ago, we saw these FBI vehicles were staging here in this parking lot. Protesters started to show up. It seemed like the protesters believed that the FBI was staging here with ICE to go and do more raids. And but we have yet to see, these agencies go out and perform more raids since those early raids we saw this morning. So that's what's happening here on the street. As you can see, a very active situation here. Things have moved away from the federal building and have now there's now a confrontation here between FBI and protesters here in Chinatown.
Note here, I think Mike Rogers noticed the Waymo of all things in the middle of the protest there. And I say protest, but this doesn't seem as organized as it was earlier, Zach. It seems like people are there with their phones, documenting, filming, yelling things at, I'm not going to call them officers. I mean, that's the FBI.
Agents,
that's the federal government.
Right.
They're yelling things at them, but haven't seen any kind of one person was arrested, but haven't seen any kind of activity like we saw earlier today. And this is a very different situation. LAPD has been involved in many protests, and they've had a lot of patience. We didn't necessarily see Bearcats in military vehicles coming in.
Yeah.
That's why this is a bit more daunting, if you will. Maybe a bit surprising that people are still there, but I'm assuming, Mike, as long as they're not acting in a violent way.
Yeah.
And they're not blocking them anymore. Wasn't that the issue? They were trying to block them into coming into that parking lot?
Yeah, so they had like an entrance to the parking lot, and they were not allowing the agents to get in. And I got worried for a second there because it got pretty tense. The van that was driven by the feds was coming into the parking lot and really was not interested in stopping. And now we see they're coming out, forming a skirmish line with riot shields. Pat, to your point, I mean, we have covered a lot of protests here in Los Angeles. In my years, this is the first time I've seen a federal government or a federal agency try to manage a protest and try to manage a crowd. So it's difficult for us to say kind of how they'll handle it and how they'll react to the crowd and how much they're willing to tolerate. I think our local agencies, LAPD, the Sheriff's Department, they to be honest, put up with quite a bit before they kind of really have to take some of those steps. And I don't know that the feds will react the same way.
Well, I was going to say, Mike, listening to your narrative there, the last time, I'm going to go back to 92 in particular.
Yeah.
And that was the National Guard that was
Right.
called in. But that was something totally, I mean, there was so much violence, so many fires being set, and a lot of looting.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I do remember the National Guard being in South Los Angeles and other neighborhoods, which, again, was very, very frightening. And that's the first time I ever witnessed something like that in Los Angeles. But here you're talking about federal agents armed and with Bearcats, military-style weapons,
100%.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're talking, I mean, and remember, under the Trump administration, they have ordered all of these other federal agencies to assist immigration authorities. So this is FBI, DEA, ATF,
right.
ICE, Homeland Security investigations. This is a very well-trained, well-armed, as we can see, group of law enforcement that have shown up here.
Yeah, I'm wondering, could you hear anybody on a megaphone telling people to disperse or to not block the area? I heard a lot of the protesters,
Right.
but I didn't necessarily hear anyone from the federal government.
Yeah, I've not heard any agents give any kind of direction. There was a protester with a megaphone that I saw. They do have LAPD up there as well, but they're probably having a difficult time communicating with them.
Okay. Mike, we're going to take a quick break here, but we'll be back with more. News here on SkyCal News. We are following protests in downtown Los Angeles that now have really gathered in a parking lot or in the street trying to block a parking lot. Well, federal agents, including ICE, Homeland Security, the DEA, FBI, they have all gathered there. We don't exactly know why. We are possibly thinking that they could be staging to conduct more raids. We're not exactly sure, but at any rate, protesters who probably were left over from the events earlier today are still there, as you can see, and they have put upon this parking lot where these federal agents are. Not exactly sure what their motive is. They're angry, first of all, that they're there in the first place. We have not seen violence. We did see someone arrested, but for the most part, protesters have been shouting at the federal agents and taking pictures on their camera phones, obviously documenting. We do have our reporter on the ground there, Zach Boweto, if we could bring him in. Zach, can you give us a location? Is this near the federal
Pat,
building?
we're here on North Hill Street and Alpine in Chinatown. And it's a very active scene here at 11:30 at night. We haven't seen any violence here, and you spoke on it over on CBS LA. The federal agents having a lot of patience. I have Congressman Jimmy Gomez here with us right now. Congressman, thank you for taking time. We're live on SkyCal News. Can you put what is going on here this evening into words?
Yeah, I just landed from Washington, D.C. Some people called me to come to observe and witness what's going on. They said that the FBI was staging here, but we also see agents from the Department of Homeland Security. And we've asked them to move, to leave, because you can see that the tension is kind of picking up here. We want people to remain safe. We want people to have a right to protest and peacefully assemble, but the tension is getting higher and higher. And that's on top of the raids that we saw today, really instilling fear in people, tackling a member of the labor movement, David Huerta, who's one of my constituents and friends. So we want them to move on so that the tension can die down here, because right now it seems like it's starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're hearing from other federal officials who are saying that these federal agents are here serving search warrants and are here from orders from the federal government. They're reacting to Mayor Karen Bass saying that they don't want ICE in the neighborhoods here in Los Angeles. What's your response to that from other federal officials saying that those federal orders trump those local orders?
Well, one of the things is that there's also we have state laws and city laws that protect people here, but at the same time, Donald Trump ordered ICE into the city. We have also a right to basically not cooperate with our law enforcement to help them detain people, but people also have a right to be on the streets, to be here to actively protest and use their First Amendment rights. But this all started with Donald Trump saying he was going after criminals. What I've heard today that he went after kids, parents when they're attending their kids' graduations, people that were working in the fashion district, people that showed up, people who had asylum, received asylum, were going through the process, showed up to court like they've done over and over, and were taken to the basement and arrested. So right now they're doing more to spread fear, and they're not keeping everybody safe. They're trying to say that they're keeping us safe by arresting a seamstress in the fashion district. That's just insane. So I'm here to observe, to see what happens, but also try to make sure that people stay safe.
Okay, Congressman, it sounds like Pat Harvey, our main anchor, wants to ask a question.
Okay.
Pat, go ahead. We're listening.
Yes, thank you so much, Zach. I just wanted to know if you could ask Representative Gomez, does he know why they are there right now? Because we have heard different that information that the protesters there believe that they are about to stage more raids tonight. Wondering if Representative Gomez has any information as to why they are there right now.
Pat's wondering what you know about what's happening here right now in this parking lot. Are they staging for more raids? Is that your understanding? Or are they staging for the protests that were taking place outside the federal building? What's your understanding, Congressman? So
I spoke to a couple of the agents that were in charge. They said that the FBI was here to help provide security if needed for the federal building. But we also saw white vans, which people said those were the same ones that were being used to detain people. We also saw other trucks that were pulling in. So they said that they were here to provide security for the federal building, but a lot of people said that these other individuals being here were giving a different message. So my message to them was find a different spot, try to go somewhere else, or just leave, and people will calm down, because this is starting to pick up a little bit here.
Okay, Congressman Jimmy Gomez, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. And Pat, we'll just wrap here by just showing you another look at where things stand right now. Protesters are meeting with federal officials here on North Hill Street, right next to Alpine, and we're in Chinatown. We'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Zach, and thank you for that opportunity to ask the congressman there a question. So, Mike,
yeah,
that's what we have been wondering. Why are the agents there tonight in that particular parking lot? And that's what the protesters obviously were wondering themselves. And then listen to what the congressman said. They could be there for security, but just not exactly sure. But the point is, they want people to disperse, and he wants people to disperse as well.
He wants people to disperse. He wants the agents to disperse as well, which I want to have SkyCal pull out a little bit, because it does appear that that's what's happening. So what looks like happened is they came in with the Bearcats, they formed a skirmish line, and then behind them, we're looking at this contingency of agents that were in that parking lot now all leaving. So you can see they've kind of gotten in their cars. There are significantly less cars in that parking lot as these agents start to leave. So that is what the representative wanted, was, hey, just go find somewhere else to do this. Just diffuse the situation. The protesters are obviously very passionate about this. So it does look like, at least for now, that the federal agents are leaving this parking lot. And I'm going to ask Oliver to give us a kind of a wide shot of the parking lot, Pat, because I can tell you that earlier it was full. Almost every spot in the lot was full with some sort of federal agent and federal vehicle. And you can see it is significantly downsizing as we look at kind of the line of cars working to get out of the parking lot. So it looks like those federal agents came in, wanted to create an opportunity for these cars to safely exit the parking lot. Because if you go back, Ollie, to that skirmish line, and you see it there on the right side of your screen as well, but we're looking at those agents have not pushed forward at all, right? If they were trying to just deal with disperse the crowd, we would have watched that skirmish line continue to move forward and continue to push the crowd. And that's really not what has kind of happened. It looks like they've almost wanted to create perimeter control so that the remaining agents in the parking lot can safely exit without being blocked by the protesters.
And it's interesting. Well, I mean, obviously that's how you do things. that Congressman Gomez was able to get through
Right.
and get there. And sounds like he had a conversation. And I think, Mike, we can just say that we have a lot more to report on this story.
Yeah.
With Congressman Gomez here, there could be other representatives from Washington, D.C. Coming in to actually find out more about what has happened today, what is going to happen over the weekend, and even in the following weeks, where the detainees are going.
Yeah.
We don't know any of that information, if they're going to be released. We have seen cases where detainees have been sent somewhere else. So we don't really know what's going to happen. So I hope that our viewers will trust us with information and to make sure they tune in to our newscast. We will be back on the air at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
with KCAL News Mornings. But in the meantime, we're going to wrap our coverage, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend, and remember to watch us on KCAL News and CBS Los Angeles.